Welcome back to MPWF RAW, MPWF fan base, and now Richard Hawkins setting Lil Sticky up in that guillotine once more, and you can feel the momentum back on Richard Hawkins' side as Lil Sticky in a wary position. Now Richard Hawkins got him up. Hawkins driver, and it connects. Lil Sticky goes head first into the mat, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid that this one is over. Richard Hawkins going for the cover. 1, 2, 3, and Richard Hawkins defeats Lil Sticky here tonight on MPWF RAW once more. Richard Hawkins again proving why he is quite possibly the best MPWF United States champion in the history of the MPWF. What a victory for the US champ, Richard Hawkins. What is next for the United States champion, Richard Hawkins? What is his next plan of action? And that is what the MPWF fanbase wants to know. What does Richard Hawkins plan to do as the United States champion as he continues to further his legacy here in the MPWF? And oh wait, hang on a second, ladies and gentlemen, that is the music of Lethal Mathematics. And ladies and gentlemen, there is Lethal Mathematics. Lethal Mathematics, ladies and gentlemen, is the second youngest superstar in the MPWF today. And he went one-on-one with Richard Hawkins in this past episode of Metal in one hell of a United States Championship matchup, but Lethal Mathematics gave it his all, and unfortunately he came up short against Richard Hawkins. And last week on Raw he defeated Tyler Fell. Lethal Mathematics coming out here, it seems, to confront Richard Hawkins, and Lethal Mathematics has been talking in the back on how he wants another match with Richard Hawkins for the United States Championship. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Richard Hawkins is a man who doesn't mind who he faces. He'll defend that title against anyone because Richard Hawkins is a fighting champion. And a fighting champion always loves a fighting contender. And a fighting contender is certainly Lethal Mathematics. That's true, ladies and gentlemen. They did tear down the House of Metal. Most people said that that matchup was the best matchup of that show and that it should have taken place at SummerSlam. Whoa, and big challenge there by Lethal Mathematics, challenging Richard Hawkins to a rematch at the Bash. And there's Richard Hawkins telling Mathematics he has some bold words. And oh, Richard Hawkins accepts, ladies and gentlemen. At the Bash, it's going to be Richard Hawkins versus Lethal Mathematics for the United States Championship. But unfortunately, backstage, we're here with Vern Mongo and the Natural Disasters. I bet your bottom dollar that MVP is watching Raw tonight. Yeah, but we want to find out what Vern Mongo wants to ask MVP. What does Vern Mongo want to do to SmackDown? So it is official, ladies and gentlemen. At the Bash, Richard Hawkins will defend his United States Championship against Lethal Mathematics. And ladies and gentlemen, in what has been named possibly the biggest main event in MPWF Metal history, Joey Eagle will take on Lethal Mathematics in singles competition in the main event. That's going to prove to be one hell of a medal this next week. After SmackDown, Metal, main event, Eagle, Mathematics. But up next is a grudge match. And ladies and gentlemen, we see grudge matches all the time because everybody seems to have a problem with everybody here in the MPWF. Dwight Jones will take on Marcus O'Reilly tonight. And now the question is, will this match finally get to happen? Will we actually get to see Marcus O'Reilly and Dwight Jones? At SummerSlam, it was supposed to be those two battling it out for the Hardcore Championship, except Dwight Jones couldn't compete due to tummy pains. And then on MPWF Raw last week, it was supposed to be Dwight Jones versus Marcus O'Reilly in another Hardcore Championship matchup, but Vern Mongo pulled Marcus O'Reilly out the match and brought in Systematic Carnage, and Systematic Carnage defeated Dwight Jones to become the Hardcore Champion. So here we are tonight with a grudge match between Marcus O'Reilly and Dwight Jones, and the hardcore title will not be on the line because neither of these men are the champion, and both of these men are looking to win the hardcore championship. But in order to win the title, they gotta beat the sick, sadistic, devil's favorite demon, Systematic Carnage. And Systematic Carnage, ladies and gentlemen, will be taking on Dr. Rice Jr. on Superstars this week, and the hardcore championship will be on the line because every time there's a singles match in the MPWF and the hardcore champion is in that singles matchup, the hardcore championship will be on the line. So Superstars will have 2 championship matches in a row, ladies and gentlemen. Superstars, don't forget, is on Daily Motion on the MPWF Chairman page, not on YouTube, but the MPWF Chairman page on Daily Motion. Don't forget to tune into Daily Motion to watch MPWF Superstars. It is a phenomenal show. It is just as good as Raw. It is just as good as SmackDown. It is just as good as MPWF Metal, and it features all the talents from Raw and SmackDown in one show. And it's going to be one hell of a show, like it's going to be one hell of a show here tonight in Atlanta, Georgia. And let's get set for this grudge matchup between Dwight Jones and Marcus O'Reilly, as both men staring down each other. No, Marcus O'Reilly didn't come to mess about here, and Marcus O'Reilly taking down Dwight Jones, and our quick shoulder block knocking down the bigger man, Dwight Jones. Now, Dwight Jones, a light heavyweight, can compete for the Cruiserweight Championship here in the MPWF, but is a fairly tall dude, as we saw when he fought Systematic Carnage, and you can see the height difference against Marcus O'Reilly. And look at him using that lanky body of his to clothesline Marcus O'Reilly down with ease, and you can see the body similar to that of Nate Diaz. I spoke to Dwight Jones earlier this evening, and Dwight Jones has already expressed, he's already said that he thinks that car wrestling is a joke. And Dwight Jones trying to jump off the top rope to get Marcus O'Reilly there. Dwight Jones has already said that he prefers MMA to car wrestling. He is just doing this as homage to his father, Simon Jones, and that's why Dwight Jones, it seems, has such a bad attitude towards the MPWF. And I'll go for the cover as Marcus O'Reilly. And Dwight Jones says that it is a joke and that it's stupid that he runs the show already. And I mean, that was a fact when Dwight Jones did pin Marcus O'Reilly in his debut matchup on MPWF RAW Episode 1 of Season 2 to become the hardcore champion. And now again, Dwight Jones beating down on Marcus O'Reilly. And now Dwight Jones, look at that. Those clummy blows to the back of the kidney, the back of the ribs of Marcus O'Reilly. And every shot that Dwight Jones takes is meditated. Every shot he does is for a purpose, for a reason. They aren't wild swings. They aren't haymakers, much like Marcus O'Reilly. Marcus O'Reilly is a tough Irish bastard who is just solely here in the MPWF to fight with somebody. And Marcus O'Reilly now going for a suplex. And showing his strength first. Again, look at him bending the knees. And what a suplex there by Marcus O'Reilly. Question is, will Marcus O'Reilly go for the cover? And no, Marcus O'Reilly, proud of his actions, proud of the way he took down Dwight Jones. And we saw, Marcus O'Reilly, what is this he's got set up here? And what a suplex neck breaker variation there by Marcus O'Reilly. That could be it. I know the long frame of Dwight Jones helps Dwight get to the rope. And now, Marcus O'Reilly, clummy blow, clummy clothesline knocking down Dwight Jones. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time that Dwight Jones and Marcus O'Reilly are facing each other in a singles matchup where there is actual rules set in place, where it is a legit single match. The previous encounter was for the hardcore championship, which meant they fought under hardcore rules, and that is exactly why you saw Marcus O'Reilly try to break up the count there as he went to... what a move off the top rope there by Marcus O'Reilly. Marcus O'Reilly showing his athleticism, showing how much passion he has for the MPWF. And now Marcus O'Reilly on the apron. Dwight Jones still reeling from that. And now, quick swipe there by Dwight Jones, knocking Marcus O'Reilly on his ass off the apron. And now Dwight Jones back in control. And ladies and gentlemen, it's coming to that time again. We will be heading for a break quite shortly, so MPWF fans, stay tuned for this grudge matchup between Dwight Jones and Marcus O'Reilly. And ladies and gentlemen, when we return, you will get to see more of MPWF RAW action.